No day like today. So go live. We are live. Doing the audio check and stuff. No day like today. So go live. Please tell me we have a Nurgle versus Vampire Counts matchup. No, dude. No. No Nurgle. That's blame Dr. Nerd. Blame Dr. Nerd. He played Kugath in the last one and decided he didn't want to do it anymore. Which, I don't blame him, man. I don't blame him. Nurgle sucks! Nurgle sucks. Nurgle sucks. Anybody who enjoys Nurgle is a bad person. I would never call somebody who enjoys Nurgle a clan leader of mine. Because Nurgle is bad. My mic's fine, you liars. Alright, we're gonna vibe. We're gonna vibe for a second. Let some people gather. We're gonna let some people gather for just a second. I'll shoot the shit with you guys till about noon, so 4 minutes. Today is going to be a short stream, and I'll explain it more officially at noon. But today will be nice, concise, and quick, so if people join halfway through, they don't really know what's going on, it's going to be too much to explain it over and over and over again, so we're going to give people a little bit to gather. I'll announce at one time what's going on at the start, and then if anybody pops into chat, I'll probably give them like a 10-word blurb about what's happening and tell them to go back to the start of the video if they missed it. But yeah, it's a good one. It's our faction face-off. For anybody newer to the channel, we've done this many times before over the years. We enjoy it a lot. We enjoy it a lot. It's one of our more thematic things. How's everybody doing, dude? How's everybody doing? Oh, God. Work is stressful. If you're out there and you don't have a job, I hope... If you don't have a job, I hope you don't have a job because good reasons. Like you're still in school or some shit, some reason you shouldn't have a job. If you don't have a job and you're looking for one, best of luck in your searches. But man, do you ever just get in this funk with work where like every day you go in, you just kind of like take a deep breath and brace for what you're about to walk into, and then you walk in and you're like, yeah, it's about as bad as I expected. That's where I'm at right now. Once again, we are just waiting for a little bit more people to gather so I can go through the spiel only once, so I'm just talking about work quick. But yeah, I'm currently in a situation where the very short version is a private company over in Europe made a test, and they said, I'm going to make this up just to be simple. It's just complicated and nerdy and no one cares, but they made a test that's like, we can turn carrots blue! And my company, the Mayo Clinic's like, dude, blue carrots? That sounds lit. And they're like, yeah! Blue fucking carrots! Let's go! And the Mayo Clinic's like, Austin. And I'm like, yes. And they're like, make carrots blue. And I go to the company and I go, how do you make the carrots blue? And they go, well, actually, the carrots are kind of green when they come out the other side. And all you have to do is put uranium in them. And I'm like, yeah, that's not going to work. You can't just put uranium in carrots. Like, that's not going to uphold the Mayo Clinic guidelines and values. I can't do that. I would get arrested. So I go back to my doctors, and I'm like, the carrots aren't actually blue. They're green, and they're full of uranium, which we can't use. And my doctor's like, ah, sick. Well, make it work. What do you mean, make it work? Like, what do you mean? And they're like, well, just make carrots blue and don't use uranium. The carrots were never blue! The carrots were never blue! It never happened! The company that claimed it, they didn't do it! So you're asking me to do something that's never been done. Oh, and also, don't do it the shitty way that they didn't even accomplish the task. Do we know that this is possible? Is it possible to turn carrots blue? Well, if it isn't, you're gonna lose your job. Okay! That's fine. I'll just go do something that no one has ever done. Based off of a claim that we have now proven was false. So that's where I'm at. That's my job right now. All right, it is noon. I will stop stalling now. Just catching up with chat. Hey, Dip and Sauce, that is a good day. I love the Empire campaign. All right, so what are you looking at right now? Why are you looking at a Photoshop file? You are looking at our faction face-off. It is an event we run in our community from time to time. I hadn't run it in a little bit. I was taking a break from it, but I am hoping to run it on a more like twice a month, so every 2 weeks basis. It is a chill event. We gather some newer players. I try to generally balance the skill level, so like on this team, Coops and World Beater have been around for quite a while. Lucinia is also quite good. And on the other team, Sabras, Regnum, and Salinator a little bit has been around for a while. Segos a little bit has been around for a while. Patrick hasn't been around for a long time, but he has been killing it. So I roughly try to balance the teams, roughly try and get people around one matchup against someone of roughly their same skill level. So that's kind of fun. And there's two more things that are interesting about it. One is that it's thematic. So last time, this team actually is the reigning champions because who used to be on the right-hand side was Mortal Raiders. So Greenskins, Dark Elves, Norska, things like that. And then the demons came in and said, I'm the real bad guy, and kicked their ass. So it is kind of a King of the Hill type thing. So this team won last time, and now they're defending their title. They are the demons. I instructed the players on this team to pick anybody from beyond the Chaos Wastes. You have Khorne, Demons of Chaos, Nurgle, Slaanesh, Tzeentch, and the Warriors of Chaos to choose from. I asked them politely to please try not to take a super meta lord or try to have some fun with it. It is a for fun event after all. And there's another rule. You might be seeing some weird names on there like Rasabor, the Demon Prince, or Henrietta, the Exalted Keeper of Secrets. If who you pick is not a legendary character, you have to give them a name. So we have some named characters around here, though I did fuck up with Salinator. He did the Von Karstein Vampire Lord, and I forgot to hound him about getting a name. And the Longshanks went the other direction. He had the Red Duke, but wanted to name him the Crimson Disco. So, yes, if you see a weirdly named Lord, it is just Harry, the Herald of Khorne, is just a Herald of Khorne that we have named Harry. Sounds good? Now, to challenge the demons who were victorious last time, we have the Undead. Nagash has returned. While mortals are too busy fighting amongst themselves for politics and all that stuff, Nagash sees the true threat coming from the north, sweeping down across the plains, and he aims to stop it. Gathering all of the corpses of fallen heroes past, he creates an undead bone wall to stop the tides of chaos. But will he succeed? We'll find out today. We have Rob Zombie, the Fleet Admiral, piloted by Patrick. Setra the Imperishable, piloted by Rainy Frog. Von Karstein Vampire Lord, piloted by Salinator. Luther Harkon for Segos. DJ Kotep for Sabras Regnum. And the Crimson Disco for the Longshanks. Now, the last thing I'll say about this format, the final thing that makes it really cool in my opinion. Let's say in round one, these two players play, and World Beater wins. Let's say that. Patrick's out. Let's say this happens. The Undead team sweeps the demons. All right, stream's over. Stream's over. The score is 1-5. The Undead win. It's over. No. Because World Beater gets to fight Rainy Frog. World Beater gets to fight Salinator. World Beater gets to fight Segos. World Beater gets to fight Sabras. And World Beater gets to fight Longshanks. And if he beats all of them without dying, the demons still win. It's more like dodgeball. It's not about a score. It's about who is left standing at the end. So these players play it over the course of a week, scheduling as time allows. It is a very chill scheduling thing. We try not to really pressure people, and we just want them to have fun. So I have all the games. And let's get into it. We'll start with World Beater versus Patrick. Just start from the top. Sound good, everybody? Sounds good. So I need World Beater versus Sipa. Sipa / Patrick. This is it. Cool. Let's do it. I have my hippie hat back on. How can you take part in this? I post on the Discord from time to time, CJ, but we would love to have you. We would love to have you, my friend. DM me on Discord, and I can write a note to myself to personally invite you before I post it next time, because I think that would be sick, and it would definitely be your thing. My dad was a patient at Mayo. They were really good. Appreciate the work y'all do. Man, we try hard. We try hard. My complaints is they're asking me to do things that might be impossible right now, but I guess that's how you get new things, right? Nobody thinks it's possible until it's done. So we do have, let me check the names again. We have Archeon the Everchosen versus Rob Zombie, the Vampire Fleet Admiral. A side note for anybody out there who's like, this fucking idiot! Why didn't you bring Harry the Herald of Khorne or whatever? The Hammer, Harry the Hammer. I politely asked World Beater not to bring Harry because when he's versing all undead, Harry might be a little strong. He might be a little strong. So, yes, Harry is not here because it was a polite agreement among friends. Yeah, if you are fighting undead, yes, you should take Harry Hammerstorm. He is incredibly OP versus undead. He's just not here. Anyway, back to it. So for Archeon, we have a whole bunch of Chaos Warriors. 2 with great weapons, 3 without. Some Marauders as well in the front line. 2 Spawn of Tzeentch. Archeon the Everchosen himself with Burning Head as his only spell and Fight or Die. Plus we have the Knights of Immolation, Doom Knights of Tzeentch, ROR. For the forces of Rob Zombie, we have deck droppers, 2 of them with their little pistols. 1 is the Salt Lord Scuttler's bomber bats that have armor sundering, which will be quite nice against the Chaos Warriors. For the rest of the build, we have some pistol mobs up on the high ground, animated hulks in abundance. Looks like 4 of them. Try to see if any of them were crabs. Animated hulks, 4 of them, ready for a downhill charge if the enemy approaches. We have the Lamprey's Revenge and 2 Depth Guard, plus some more bombers. Try and kill off Marauders and things like that. The Vampire Coast does have Rob Zombie himself, Vampire Fleet Admiral with pole arms. Only 35 melee attack, but impressive 60 melee defense, armor piercing, anti-large. He brought his summon and his heal. Huzzah, huzzah. So the Vampire Coast want to sit on this hill to achieve that end and don't want to forfeit their high ground position because they want the charge. They want when they charge, they want to go downhill. They did bring these little bats to just annoy Chaos and be like, come here, come here, get up on this hill. Chaos cooler than Undead, so they have my support. Yeah, in that case, you're rooting for the reigning champions. We are now in range of the pistol fire. Pistols get off 1 shot, and then it looks like some of them are going to start falling back. I imagine if they're falling back, that means these melee zombies will be taking the front line. Yeah, and the Depth Guard are too, and they're going for that downhill charge we mentioned. Animated Hulks pairing up with zombies to attack these Marauders, and Depth Guard stand waiting for the Chaos Warriors to really get in there. Marauders also getting hit by these bombers. That is a good target for them. Chaos Warriors you'll probably need to pair with the armor sundering of the Salt Lord Scuttlers to really get any damage out, but even then, 70 armor is going to be a lot to get through. So Archeon is in. I imagine we'll see a big Burning Head coming down the line soon, though so far the Undead front line has been nice and staggered, so Burning Head can't hit multiple units. See how this Deckhand mob is up? So that if this was going the other direction, it would hit the Depth Guard, sure, but it would miss them. So far, the Undead are breaking the Chaos front line. Chaos Warriors on the far side are down to half HP. Marauders have entirely broken across the board. But the Doom Knights of Tzeentch are here, and it looks like they were attacking the Salt Lord Scuttlers, taking those guys down to half HP. And the Doom Knights are the only range that World Beater brought. Sorry, not ranged. There is no ranged, and they're the only flying unit, so they are the only defense against pistols. Now, thankfully for the Forces of Chaos, these are just pistols. They're not the handgun variants. It's not like they can sit above Archeon and just delete him. Speaking of getting deleted, though, the Depth Guard are having a terrible time here versus these Chaos Warriors and Spawn of Tzeentch. The Spawn lowering their armor down to 60, and then probably a little bit of friendly fire from the bombers on their reduced armor is hurting the Chaos Warriors. And I just realized that we have both sides have a method of armor sundering. Apparently everybody hates armor today. Bounce power still dead even, and Rob Zombie has decided to take on Archeon himself. He will actually be decent in this duel. Again, his melee attack is quite low, but he does have... God damn it, dude, just let me see this. Does have 25 bonus versus large, bringing him up to an actual 60-60 for melee stats versus 80-60 of Archeon. And Archeon, we all know, is a super badass duelist. So overall, Rob Zombie is going to have a poor time. He should probably back off, but I'm just saying he's not helpless. He can also heal himself too and things like that. Archeon's currently giving him the business as he's also surrounded by Chaos Warriors. Looks like he got some animated hulks to try and offer him some support, and the Lamprey's Revenge is in here as well. Archeon will have to be a little careful. If he ends up getting surrounded by the Lamprey's Revenge, that is usually how the coast takes out scary, scary horse lords. Meanwhile, the Chaos front line is with its second wind of sending in the Chaos Warriors. The Marauders all routed instantly, but the Chaos Warriors are grinding through. They've reached the back line. Depth Guard are gone. The Bombers are getting pushed away, and slowly the balance of power is going into the favor of Chaos just a little bit. Now, on that note, the spawn of Tzeentch are both incredibly worn down. And the coast, they still have one depth guard. Its heal cap is approaching, though. I guess it could get a little more healing. Maybe with the Lamper's Revenge and depth guard healing, you could grind out into the late game. We still have the pistol bats mostly uncontested. Actually, one of them might be dead. Yeah, one of them's dead. But the Saltlord Scuttlers are also uncontested. Wonder what they've been shooting at. Another Burning Head goes down the line, just going to smoke that Chaos Spawn that's already almost dead, so nobody cares about it, but a little more damage onto the Depth Guard never hurt. And Archeon is being pursued by Lamper's Revenge. At both sides of attrition to just absolutely nothing. I'm wondering, is this real? This is a real pistol mob. That could be annoying for Chaos. I suppose the Chaos Warriors are faster than it, so they could run it down. I was going to say they could get kited by that little guy. Archeon's still trying to find Rob Zombie, who continues to run around. And some more pistol summons are out. A scary thing for the Undead, though, is this full health Doom Knight of Tzeentch running about. There is no healing for him, but there's just, like, no one's attritioned him at all. And pistols are barely going to do any damage to him. So really how the Doom Knights would have to fall is landing in the Lamper's Revenge and getting cucked. But I don't see that happening. World Beater's been pretty careful with him so far, so I think he's going to be fine. Chaos Warriors did catch that last pistol mob. The Undead are starting to run out of gas as the second Depth Guard is dead. And the Vampire Fleet Admiral, Rob Zombie himself, is not burning through the witches today. He is currently trying to run through the ditches. And his Dragula is just not keeping up. Any these 80s and 90s references doing anything for you, my fellow kids? Anyway. Yeah. More Chaos Warriors are routing, though. And it is quickly becoming just Archeon and the Doom Knights. Chaos has been taxed too much everywhere else. The Lamper's Revenge have surrounded Archeon, and while it's looking bad for the Vampire Coast, this is their way back into the game. The Lamper's Revenge excel at beating up on forces like Archeon. With his 60 melee defense, he is doing his best to stay alive. We'll see how it goes overall. Rob Zombie is getting away for now. Still has some healing to give himself if he needs it, but the Doom Knights are out here as well. So if the Lamper's Revenge aren't near him, the Doom Knights can dive on top of him. And Archeon is really not taking any of their shit at this moment. He is hanging on for dear life. Invocation to Heck he used on the Lamper's Revenge to try and keep them topped off, and Rob Zombie is returning. I think he wants to pop his Hands Ahoy, the melee buff that no one ever sees on the coast because they're not generally known as the melee faction. Yeah, it's all Hands Ahoy. So he gave him 25% more damage and some leadership so they wouldn't crumble as much. And you can see he came right back to the crabs because the Doom Knights were walking towards him, and he needed to be near friends, otherwise he'd just get surrounded and beat up. Deck Droppers with their pistols, they are out of ammo. They are now just a flying dog unit that can maybe try and rout these Chaos Warriors and stuff, but a big, I guess I'd call it a rock drop from the Knights of Immolation onto these guys. Animated Hulks are almost dead. Lamper's Revenge half HP, and Archeon has not taken like any damage since we last checked in on him, which is really concerning. Like, Lamper's Revenge usually do better against him. Now, I think they're being blocked by their own Animated Hulk friends or something, but the fact that Archeon lived through that full surround is a huge problem. Because now he has the remnants of Chaos Warriors rejoining him. Some are shattering, but the Knights of Immolation are also here, and things are going to get real sketchy real fast. Knights of Immolation taking a ton of damage, but so is Rob Zombie. He's almost dead. And he opts back in the fight with Archeon, because what else can he do? But he does just die with that. Army losses is going to hit the coast. And I do agree, the Lamper's Revenge put on an honorable showing. Saw Korn and Rob Zombie live. I saw... Who was I seeing? Yeah, it was Korn. Yeah, dude, I have actually a funny Korn story, very short. I went to a concert where Seether was supposed to be opening for Korn, and there was like, how the concerts worked in my town was always like a local band, and then the front band, or whatever you would call it, and then the main show. So it was Blank, Seether, and Korn, and as they traveled around the country, Blank would change depending on what town you're in. So the local band played, and then Seether gets up there, and they look confused. You know something's not quite right. And they kind of start to, like, play a bit of a song, and they don't really know what to do, and they're filling. And then at last, Jonathan Davis, the lead singer of Korn, just comes out. Everybody loses their mind, and he's just like, what do you guys want to hear? What are we doing? And they're shouting out random Seether songs, and he's just like, he looks at the band, and he's like, I don't know. So he's singing, Jonathan Davis is singing these Seether songs, and he's kind of having fun, and he's kind of playing the crowd and whatever. And then the next day in the newspaper, I found out the lead singer of Seether was found passed out drunk on a sidewalk, and that's why he wasn't there. Like, no one from the band knew where he fucking was. They're like, I don't know what his name is. But, you know, it's like, is Kyle here? Like, has anybody heard from Kyle? No? Okay. And apparently, like, they just went out there without him, and they're like, I don't know what to do. And Jonathan Davis, behind the scenes, is like, what the fuck are you doing? And they're like, we don't have a singer. And he's like, well, I guess I'll do it then. This is funny. Yeah. It's more impressive that he knew enough of their songs. Because I think that's, like, this is speculation. I think that's why he was asking the crowd, you know, like, what do you guys want to hear? And he hears, like, don't know that song. Don't know that song. I know that one. I know Fake It. You guys want to play Fake It? Okay, we'll play Fake It because I know that one. Next song, what do you want? Don't know it. Don't know it. Don't know it. I know that one. You want to play that one? Because I know that one. Like, it was so funny. Yeah, I mean, he killed it. He killed it. All the humans in the chat hope the stream will be as awesome as the one from yesterday. It's probably the best land battles I ever saw. Hell yeah, Little Trill. My bold prediction is Demon Chaos destroys all the undead. Maybe. Maybe. All right, so I was getting caught up on chat. I got distracted by a story. Let's get over to the main stage. So, Patrick and Rob Zombie are out. Archeon, the Everchosen, reigns supreme. We move on to Harry, the Herald of Corn, and Setra, the Imperishable. When did this happen? Here it is. Yeah. So if you were not here for the last stream of this variety, there was a joke about Harry the Herald of Corn and his roommate, because for some reason Lysenia was always taking this hero. I think it's called the Blood Reaper or something. He was always taking this hero. They were always both on foot, and I'm like, his roommate. So Harry and his roommate are gonna go fight this to do whatever, and then he just kept taking it, I think, because he found it funny that we were saying that. So yeah, it's just silly. You missed my bombers bombing my depth guard a little bit. I'm sorry. Disappointed, no blow to corpses. All right, let's go. So, Harry the Herald of Corn and his roommate both, oh, they got mounts this time. Oh, good for you guys. Level it up. They used to be on foot. All right, we have Chosen of Corn with dual weapons, 2 Chosen of Corn, 3 Chaos Warriors of Corn, all with halberds, and then a front line of Marauders, most of which have dual weapons. That is man spam. That is the most man spam you can ever spam. No dogs, no furies, no skull crushers, nothing. Just man spam. All right. On the other side, we have Setra the Imperishable on his Chariot of the Gods. We have some Skeleton Horsemen, Necropolis Knights with halberds. 2 of them. Oh, no. They're looking around like, what do we use these halberds on? There are no large targets. I mean, there's the Lord and Hero, but that's it. 1 Sporkle Stalker, the Eyes of the Desert, trying to kite out a little bit. Then we have a front line of Skeletons, the Kepler Guard, 2 Skeleton Archers, one of which is the Blessed Legion of Flach, with their armor sundering. Again with the armor sundering, man. Armor sundering all over the place. A Tomb Prince for a little bit of dueling, and that is it. Setra rolls through some Marauders of Corn, does about a quarter of their HP, but he is beset by Harry and his roommate. They're in it. They're going. They pop the Locust of Wrath for even more melee attack, and Setra has taken a bunch of damage, and he's trying to run away right now. He will overall be fine if he doesn't take too much more because of all the healing that the Tomb Kings have. Meanwhile, the Necropolis Knights off-screen just pile over some Marauders with dual weapons. And they're chilling. Setra is probably going to go look for his Tomb Prince friend, because he does have Guardian, that constant physical resist. Though I suppose that doesn't matter versus demons. Demons are almost entirely magic damage. Fair enough. Skeletons are getting massacred by Corn. They are pushing some of the guys back, but I think wherever the Chosen end up, it's going to be a bad time. And the Tomb Prince is dueling Harry. He's actually kind of kicking his ass. Come on, Harry. You cost like 4 times as much. Beat his ass. So Harry and the Tomb Prince are going back and forth. Blessed Legion of Flach under attack by Harry's roommate. Necropolis Knights are coming back with their halberds primed. They realized, hey, there's a target that's actually on a mount. We can kill that guy. Let's go kill that guy. Yeah! And they get distracted by the Chosen of Corn, which they will not do very well against. So we'll see how that goes. Actually, wow, these Chosen of Corn are getting railed. What the fuck? Okay, apparently they'll just smoke Chosen of Corn. I guess. Ooh. Oh no. Oh no. Tomb Prince messed with the Bash buddies. No, Tomb Prince! Oh no! He was kicking Harry's ass alone, and then he just gets bodied by the both of them. Oh my god. All right, how we doing? Tomb Kings are actually up on the balance of powers. The Tomb Prince is gonna fade away. Necropolis Knights that are away from Setra are not doing nearly as well as the ones that are next to them, and we do have a new Shopti summon coming up. On the other side, the Chosen of Corn are almost routed from those sneaky snakes. The Shopti summon lands on top of some halberds, probably not their favorite target, and Setra is here to help out. Harry and his roommate are surrounded by Necropolis Knights with their big halberds. They're not the best at really surrounding something, beating it up, but they'll do okay. They'll do all right. And the Kepler Guard are smoking as many Marauders as want to come their way. They have, I noticed these guys have pointedly avoided fighting too many Chaos Warriors or Chosen. I smell a little bit of bitch. Smell like bitch in here. But it looks like they'll actually take a fight with some real combatants soon. Setra and his last Necropolis Knights are trying to fight against the Herald and his friends. Ooh, actually the other Necropolis Knight is still over here. I lost track of what was going on. My bad. The Chosen of Corn, now that Setra left, though, their leadership has rallied quite a lot, and they're really fighting back. If you remember, they were at about that HP earlier, and they're still at that HP now, kicking tons of ass. Necropolis Knights abandon Setra to his fate, and the roommate brothers are going to whoop his buns. Chosen of Corn get hit with an Usurian's Incantation of Vengeance. It's roughly like Melkoth's Mystifying Miasma or like Spirit Leech, but it's better against multiple targets than single targets. And Harry once again doing battle against the Necropolis Knights. Setra is rolling back in, and I could see this being a Tomb King's W if they snipe out the leadership and then kite pretty effectively with the Sporkle Stalkers. Ooh, they don't have a lot of ammo. That would make kiting a lot harder. Big shots onto the Blood Reaper. Harry's getting whittled down. But across the map, there's no Tomb Kings left. So it's really, do you believe, in a full health Sporkle Stalker with little ammo, half health Setra, and 1/4 or 1/3 HP Necropolis Knight to kill all of these elite warriors? My vote would be no, but I've been surprised by other things. As Harry goes down! No! The Blood Reaper just leaves him to his fate. Doesn't even try to avenge him. What sort of roommate are you? What sort of friend? Yeah, I'm glad you're getting shot by the Sporkle Stalkers. I'm glad you're fading. Fuck you. You abandoned your friend in time of need. You're an asshole. Patrick, I just saw your comment. Harry's roommate wouldn't let him die. That didn't age super great. Because he let him die. He left. Pieced out of there. Man, that Blood Reaper took forever to fade away, though. Kepler Guard continuing to battle with Marauders and Chosen of Corn. But the Chosen of Corn apply fire damage, which makes their... You know, they're weak to fire damage because of their regeneration, so that's actually terrible for the Kepler Guard. They're in a real bad time. Balance of power is slightly in the favor of the Tomb Kings. I'm so concerned. As Setra goes burr through some halberds, actually does really good damage there. Good for you, Setra. It's like Melkoth, but twice as expensive. I didn't say it was a great spell. I said it's a fine spell. Kepler Guard fade away at last. And more Chosen of Corn wander up here while Setra almost... There we go. He does rout the halberds. Ooh, that's unfortunate. His curse got popped. It's not something you can choose, but it just happens. He would have wanted that to get popped in a much more densely crowded thing. Like, if he could have gotten his curse to be popped over here, that would have been huge. But it unfortunately was just popped on the unit that was already routing. So, shit happens. Like, you can't control it. These things are natural. Your body is changing. You lost all of your skin and all of your organs. It's natural for these things to happen, Setra. It's okay. Is Setra on Chariot versus all infantry? Yes. Harry and Larry. Was it Larry? I honestly forgot the name we gave, so I've just been carefully avoiding saying a name in case I got it wrong. All right, Sporkle Stalkers closing in. They do have 3 volleys left. Setra shatters some Marauders of Corn. So we have 2 Chaos Warriors with halberds, a Marauder, 2 more Marauders with dual weapons, and a Chosen that has seen better days. This is actually very close. Necropolis Knights plow in, somehow taking more damage on the charge than the Marauders that they were charging. And Setra is going to get a good one onto the Chosen of Corn. Goes burr straight through them, takes off a good chunk of their health considering how low they are. Not that it was a huge percentage overall. Oh no. Whoops. Whoops! He pats back into the halberds a little bit, takes a nasty like 300 damage worth, but he groups them up. Can the Sporkle Stalkers punish the blob? It looks like not as the Marauders close in. They only have one volley left. Necropolis Knights stuck fighting Marauders and halberds. And that's going to be a real bad time for them. Those Chosen that were routed on the high ground have returned. Sporkle Stalker's going to charge them real quick. Maybe get rid of those boys. Doesn't look to be the case. Setra rolls through some more Cornates. Takes about another 100 damage or so. Ooh, make that more like 200 damage, though he did throw out some kind of heal. Necropolis Knights are gonna die here. And Setra's going for a quick rear charge. Some Marauders are breaking. Setra goes burr straight through more Marauders. Bring their health down, but he takes another 200 damage in response. And I think that will be the end of poor Setra, as there's just too many Cornates poking and prodding at him. He starts crumbling, and crumbling is something you can't cycle charge away. Setra is fading. His Necropolis Knights are fading, and his hopes are fading. Rules are for the weak. Setra cares not for your rules. It's true. As he crumbles to death, that'll lead us to army losses for the Sporkle Stalkers. And it was close. It was closer than I thought it would be when I saw the builds. I was like, oh god, what are the two kids gonna do against all these infantry? Yeah. I just didn't think he would whoop on him that hard for a bit. All right, for Rainy Frog, admirable attempt as Setra got an impressive 2,700 value. His Halberd Knights did better than I would think Halberd Knights would do. So he really picked good targets for him. He did do great. Sporkle Stalkers did amazing. Kept Regard did fine. Archers and Skeleton Spears did their best. GG. For Lucinia, the Bash Buddies did 2,400 combined. Wow, look at that Chosen value. 1,800, 2,400. Damn. Very nice stuff from the Chosen. Marauders overall did fine. Chaos Warriors did fine, but the Chosen really showed up. And it's like, there's sometimes arguments about whether we should nerf healing or not. I will point out there are certain units that don't get healing that do really well recently, like Blackguard for the Dark Elves, or Chosen for Warriors of Chaos / Khorne. So it is possible to have elite units do well. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's possible. And I hope CA managed to keep some elite units good without obscene healing. Like, because I like seeing Dreadsaurians. I just don't like seeing Dreadsaurians all the fucking time and healing, healing infinitely and you can't deal with them. But, like, I like that Dreadsaurians are viable. All right, Setra has fallen. That is 2-0 to the forces beyond the border. We'll see if 80 Ruda can beat Salinator and turn this around. Wait, no. Other way around. We need Salinator to win, to keep this interesting. Okay, where were we? So then, Lucinia Rainy Frog, delete that so I don't cast it twice. And then I need... Who am I looking for? 80 Ruda, okay. Where's this sale? There it is. Oh, I remember this one. This one was weird. This one was weird. I briefly checked them. I didn't really sit and watch them, but I checked them to make sure that I had the winners right. Because I do know who wins, because I had to, you beat you, so fight, the other person. You know what I mean? Oh, and it's something I should have mentioned at the start. If you think you're being clever, that like whoever sent in the replay won every time, I did ask at the start of the event, I asked every Undead player to send me their replays. So theoretically, it shouldn't be that you can metagame it by being like, green team always wins. I asked the Undead players to always send me the replays, win or lose. And if we ever cast it from a demon's perspective, it's because the Undead player forgot. All right. So, for the Undead, we have Vampire First de von Karstein. This is the von Karstein Vampire Lord, who is unnamed, so I'm going to call him Vampire First. I'm just going to go with that. Vampire First is now his name. So, Vampire First, a Mortis Engine, 2 Vargeists, double Graveguard, one of which is the Sternsman, a bunch of zombies, including the Tithe, and then we have a Blood Knight and a Crypt Horror. On the other side, for 80 Ruda, who 80 Ruda has not been playing a lot recently, but did return just to defend his seat in this event. So mad shout-outs to the legend, by the way, with Rasibor, the Demon Prince, some Nurglings, Exalted Bloodletters of Khorne, Nurglings, the Heralds of Khorne's Fury, oh wow, Blood Crusher ROR, more Exalted Bloodletters, a Flamer, and an Iridescent Horror of Metal with Final Trans and Searing Doom, and then some more Nurglings and stuff. Oh, and he has a Blood Shrine. Go Blood Shrine, go. Something has happened here. Does Flock of Doom Overcast? Oh yeah, it's a Von Karstein Lord. We might see some different shit. He has the Storm of the Night. It's like a Bound Tempest, Flock of Doom, Heal, and Zombie Summon. Dank. Storm of the Night is cast. It affects all flying units, even if they are not currently flying. If they have the potential to fly, they will get hit by Tempest and or Storm of the Night. Vampire counts take a big engagement on the backfield, and man, the Heralds of Khorne's Fury are already just getting murdered. Oh my god. They're getting completely fucked up. As Exalted Bloodletters opt into the fight, they will also do well, but this is just a giant gambit by the Vampire counts to take out those Flamers. They really don't want them to continue firing at the Mortis Engine or at Vampire First. Salinator is German? I don't know, man. I just work here. Nurglings are trying to hold back the Undead Tide, but the Graveguard are pushing through them pretty easily. That looked like a final transmutation from the Demons of Chaos onto all these expensive units, and the Vargeists and Blood Knights are taking a ton of damage. I mean, they succeeded in killing the Screamers, so like you can't say that they failed, but it is looking like it's coming at a heavy cost. Rasibor is trying to hunt down Vampire First, but Vampire First is surrounded by so many zombies and the Mortis Engine that he's getting a lot of passive healing and stuff. He's overall fine. Quick breath attack from him onto the blob fight, hits those Exalted Bloodletters, doing a lot of damage to them, but it looks like the Blood Shrine of Khorne is giving them so many stats they can just stay in the fight. And this is getting spooky for the Vampire counts, you guys. They just lost a Blood Knight and both of Vargeists in this suicide run for the Screamers. And, the Flamers, which they also killed the Heralds of Khorne Fury pretty much, so it wasn't all in vain, but I mean, that is an expensive price to pay. Vampire counts down to just relying on their infantry, a Mortis Engine, 2 Crypt Horrors, and a Dragon Lord that's not the Blood Dragon Lord makes me spooky. It makes me feel the spooky feels. Exalted Bloodletters are living their best lives. Just gonna kill zombie after zombie after zombie. Look at those kills, 160. Yeah, their Hellblade is popped. But big dive in from the Vampire Lord. Trying to get that charge bonus plus the Storm of the Night, really whittling down Rasibor, who has no healing or anything. His only ability is the Fury Summon, so any damage you put on him sticks. Sternsman and zombies are chilling. I'm getting a little... I thought the Demons of Chaos would have a super easy time clearing out zombies, but it looks like they're actually struggling a bit because of the Graveguard and because of all the support from the Vampire Lord. Like, you have 1 Exalted Bloodletter left. This one's about to die. You have an Exalted Bloodletter at, like, 1/10 HP, trying to kill all of these things. Oh, there's another one in the woods. We just haven't talked about him forever, as he fights Graveguard and the Mortis Engine. Rasibor is still trying to duel out Vampire First. I don't know if it's going to work, though. This Mortis Engine's just been vibing, and that is going to be a problem. Unless Rasibor can go deal with it, but he's busy fighting Vampire First, and he's actually, like, doing pretty good. Considering how much healing Vampire First has received, Rasibor is killing it. Never mind! He has 600 value! Rasibor, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you trash? Why do you have 600 value? You've been fighting this guy all game! You piece of shit! Anyway, Rasibor's back in. He rear charges some Crypt Horrors, I believe those are, as Furies attack the Graveguard. But the Mortis Engine is still rolling dirty through the back line. We have zombies and Graveguard getting healed up. The Iridescent Horror has been entirely ignored, and he's feeling insulted about it. But I think Vampire First is just waiting to breath attack Rasibor and get a little bit more damage out of him. Fury Summon is gone already. Exalted Bloodletters of Khorne are the last infantry left for the Demons of Chaos. Nope, there's Nurglings. I lied. I lied too, because I'm a big stinky liar. Really nice Searing Doom onto the big old vampire blob. But more healing for Vampire First. He's doing fine. Blood Shrine of Khorne continues to try and do its best, but a Storm of the Night, BM from the skies. Now he's going to land on the poor boy who's already suffering, causing him to demonic instability crumble. And without him, the rest of the army falls prey to that crumbling. And the Undead are going to be on the board. Don't like out here to say that unless you want a net worth to your skyrocket. It was a pretty good battle overall. I honestly liked it. 3,200 on the Von Karstein Lord. Blood Knights did great. Mortis Engine did really well. Both of the Graveguard, while they didn't get good value, they just like hung in there much longer than the zombies, and they gave the Mortis Engine and the Von Karstein Lord somewhere to run to for a little bit of support. Vargeists got murdered instantaneously. That was a bit of a whoopsie. Crypt Horrors did okay, and zombies did all right. On the other side for 80 Ruda, we have 900 on his Demon Prince Lord, 1,500 on the Iridescent Horror. Heralds of Khorne's Fury did very poorly. Exalted Bloodletters did really well, especially considering that these guys got 1,000 value while probably fighting like half zombies, half Graveguard and stuff. Even getting close to paying for themselves is pretty good. I'm pretty happy with how they did. Flamers did okay. I mean, like, it's hard to blame a unit for getting dove by literally everything, and you could say that the Flamers were a nice bait to get him to throw both his Vargeists away. Like, I don't think the Flamers were a problem here. I think having him was fine. The build was overall pretty good. I know we're having a for fun event, but like, if you wanted to take what parts of this build you could and like make it better, like combining these two and just having one caster and have it be your Lord and probably not the basic Demon Prince, yeah, that'd be better. But it's a for fun event, so GG's. GG's indeed. Let's get you over to the Photoshop. Undead are on the board as Rasabor falls to Vampire Further. Vampire First? Vampire First. Who am I looking for now? Coops and Segos. This shit bangs. This one absolutely slaps. If you thought about leaving, hang around for this one, because this is a good one. I was watching it on triple fast forward just to make sure I understood who won and that there were no like major issues that I would have to deal with. But yeah, I got to the end and I was like, oh fuck, oh shit, okay. I kind of wished I watched it on normal speed because it banged. There it is. Sorry, it took me a little while to find it. Segos and Luther Harkon versus Henrietta, the Exalted Keeper of Secrets. I think the demons need more buff and leadership, but they overcosted. I'm fine with their leadership being low. They are generally overcosted. There are certain units on the roster that are appropriately costed. I think Plague Toads of Nurgle for 650, I honestly think they perform at about 650 level right now. I do think a lot of the demonic units, especially their lords, need some serious cost reductions. Yeah. All right. For the Vampire Coast, Luther Harkon, a man we have not seen for quite a long time, on top of his Terror Goose, does have regeneration for being on that mount. He also has the Hunger, so in a melee he has double healing. For his support, he has a Vampire Caster with the Summon and the Heal. We do have, looks like 4 pistol mobs. We have the Shade Wraith Gunners, which are extra effective versus demonic factions because of their magic ammunition plus their discouraged leadership aura. Ability. You can nuke. Look at these Chaos Furies. They have 1 leadership. They're already almost demonic instability crumbling. The bar hasn't caught up yet, but if you look at the stats say 1 leadership. So really like that pick. 2 Depth Guard, 3 Animated Hulks, the Lamprey's Revenge, and that is it. On the side of Slaanesh and Coops, you have a Chaos Knight of Slaanesh, 3 Chaos Furies, Chosen of Slaanesh, and then 3 Chaos Warriors of Slaanesh with Hell Scourges. Then we, of course, have Henrietta, the Exalted Keeper of Secrets, with, what do we have? Lash of Slaanesh and Hysterical Frenzy. Cool. Hysterical Frenzy is cast on the Chaos Furies of Slaanesh, but that does mean they are rampage, they can't run away, and the Shade Wraith Gunners immediately lower their leadership down enough that they start to Demonic Instability crumble. They are gone. These other ones are also going to start Demonic Instability crumbling, and just like that, 1,100 value is gone. Can I see 1,650? Because I think the Chaos Furies of Slaanesh are 550, I think, if they're not 600. Yeah, those Shade Wraith Gunners already just insane value. They're not going to show it because they got them to Demonic Instability crumble, but that, like, they got that unit to Demonic Instability crumble, which killed that unit, so they deserve the value, but insane value on them to start, and a really good lead for the Vampire Coast. Nice breath attack from Luther. It's not as good as a Dragon Breath attack, but still does what it needs to onto these Chaos Warriors, and just an unholy storm of fire is hitting these guys, though most of it is pistol fire, and the Chosen generally don't care. On the high ground, we do have Chaos Knights of Slaanesh just trying to cause a bit of a ruckus, be disruptive in all ways that fit them. Now, Henrietta is going to be a problem. You might be like, oh, Human Boy, she has a heal that only works when your leadership is low. What faction is she fighting right now? Is it Undead, who have really bad leadership because of crumbling? So this lady just constantly gets to heal? Oh yeah, that might be actually pretty good. She does hop onto the backline. She's tired of these Shade Wraith Gunners. And now Animated Hulks are here. Try and cause her a little bit of grief. Now, what she does have to be careful of is with only 15 armor and a bronze shield if she's facing the right direction, even pistol mobs can do a lot of damage versus the Altar Keeper of Secrets, so she has to be a little careful. But managed well, she can just infinitely heal through the hordes of undead. Now, the frontline fight is going pretty well for Slaanesh with Chosen and Chaos Warriors with Hell Scourges. You would hope so. Oh, there's a Hellstrider! Hi, friends. I didn't even notice you out here. Hello. Welcome to the fight. They pile in, still trying to kill off the Shade Wraith Gunners, and Chaos Knights of Slaanesh are going to come out on the other side. There is nowhere for these Shade Wraiths to go, and they are getting worked down. Luther is Narcissism netted, so he can't move, though his Terrorgeist animations do take him a little bit away from Henrietta, who's still trying to duel him for the moment. Animated Hulks are back here, but Chosen have joined the fight as well, and all of a sudden it is a complete surround onto the Undead, and Luther is still trapped in here with Henrietta, who is healing up this entire time. She's vibing, she's chilling. As long as the Shade Wraith Gunners and other Undead continue to crumble away next to her, she will be happy as a clam on the beach. So how are we doing with these Chaos Knights? Where's the Hellstriders? There they are. They ran off to stop those pistols from shooting at Henrietta, relying on the Chaos Knights and Chosen to deal with the rest of this. Looks like we do have the Fascination for a rampage onto Luther. Just trying to keep him in the fight. Henrietta has been trying to get to him, but there are a couple Animated Hulks between her and them, so she's just kind of T-posing on him. But once those Animated Hulks fail, I think Luther will be in more trouble. The Vampire Coast to frontline is faltering. Even Pistol Summon shooting these Chaos Warriors of Slaanesh in the back where their shields aren't facing really isn't helping that much. Where are the Depth Guard? I just remember there are Depth Guard. One over here is trading well into the Chosen, and this one is trading well into the Hell Scourges. That's cool. Chaos Knights? Ooh, wow. All right, Chaos Knights and the Hellstriders both suffering a lot of damage, so I'm getting concerned for Slaanesh all over again. Though, summons fading away do make the battlefield look a little more favorable to that party. More Chosen, more Chaos Warriors piling in, but another nice breath attack from Luther does whittle them down just a little bit. Animated Hulks and the supporting zombies die back to back, and more Animated Hulks die, so all of a sudden 3 Undead units just disappear from the back line. Hellstriders once again attack the little pistol mobs. And how are we doing on summons? I'm trying to tell what's a summon and what's real. Are any of you real? Lamprey's Revenge are real. They're big chillin'. So, the super healthy Depth Guard has abandoned the fight with the Hell Scourges that they were winning, because it wasn't really worth winning. And elsewhere, these other Depth Guard are slowly getting close to crumbling. Ooh, that's also really good. She also has the aura where she does Mortis Engine type values of damage to anybody whose leadership is low, so again, the Undead will crumble even faster next to her. Damn, Slaanesh. You might be OP. Jokes. Just because they have a couple things that are strong versus the Undead doesn't mean I think Slaanesh are OP. That was a fib. That was a falsehood, a lie. These pistol mobs in the high ground have lasted for so long, Henrietta took the time out of her day to go kill them personally. She's like, you've been crumbling for like 65 years and I'm done with it. Instantly gets rid of them. The Chosen and Elite Infantry of Slaanesh continue to battle it out. Hysterical Frenzy popped on these guys, giving them 100 melee attack. Oh my god. Oh my god. Chaos Knights of Slaanesh charge down the way, just trying to get on the Lampert's Revenge, who are almost heal capped. Meanwhile, these Depth Guard are slowly fading, and Henrietta's trying to deal with some animated hulks. So she's just getting rid of everything extra in the army that isn't Luther Harkon, because she wants to someday fight Luther 1v1 without a bunch of shit getting in the way. A quick Fascination rampages the pistol mob, but I think mostly it's just dealing the extra damage to get them to hurry up and crumble to nothingness. Vampire Coast are relying on some summons here. There's a summon. That full health zombie is not real. It is fake. And Henrietta's back in, ready to take a fight. But Luther's also quite ready for that fight. Hits her right in the face, though Seductive Glory is popping his melee defense down to 18. He does get away. Yeah, and he should get back up to the sky here any second. Chaos Warriors and Chosen are looking like they're having a rough go, and wow, Luther's actually not going to get into the sky. She somehow keeps him on the ground, is now caught up to him. Luther's heal cap appears. I didn't even realize he took that much damage. Oh, no. Okay, he's actually in trouble. He's actually in big trouble. The zombie summon is also looking worse for wear. Animated Hulk fails away. Lampert's Revenge are also fading away, and Slaanesh is rocketing up the balance of power from quite down to back towards the middle. Chaos Knights on the high ground route for no reason, though, because I guess they're just bitches. And the Chosen continue to grind on. All the zombies are dead. Do you even have any summons left, lady? You have one, which you might need here, or you're gonna have to heal yourself because you're not looking so hot. Another breath attack from Luther does good damage. She does throw out one last summon. It is her last. She is also not feeling good, and Henrietta's gonna go in for the kill. She's tired of the caster. Even after all the summons are used, still just want to get rid of that caster. That's fine. Just get her down. She's still healing up again because any undead near her that are crumbling, which they just tend to do, keeps healing her on up. Henrietta's doing great, and now things are getting real scary. The Chaos Warriors and Chosen aren't feeling so hot, except for this one that's at half HP, and that could be a real problem. As the Depth Guard and Lampert's Revenge desperately cling to life, trying to fight those guys back, but Lampert's Revenge are dead. One last rear charge from the Chaos Knights of Slaanesh. If they rout one more time, they will shatter. And they're at 3 leadership. Luther duels with Henrietta in the back. All of a sudden, Slaanesh is in the lead. Healing cap has been reached for Luther. He's now rampaging, stuck fighting her. And I think she's going to Hysterical Frenzy herself. Yes, she does. So they're both rampaging, but she has 102 melee attack versus 42 melee defense. She should get good shots in. The last summon of the caster, who is now dead, is out here trying to help the Depth Guard fight back. But man, there are too many Chaos Warriors left. There's too much, and Luther can't carry. There's a reason you never see Luther. He's just not the man he used to be, but Henrietta's getting real low. 2,000 HP on her, 3,000 on Luther, and he does have some, he doesn't have anti-large. I thought he did. I don't know why he doesn't have anti-large, but if he can get her to crumble away, all of a sudden that Chosen will break. Maybe the Chaos Warriors will also break. He continues to fight Henrietta, though, but she's just doing too much damage to him. She's not taking enough in return, and Luther will fall. And the absolute hard carry, the hard carry by Henrietta. 5,300 value on a Exalted Keeper of Secrets. You never see it. You never see it. Oh, Versak, you're right. I forgot that. Yes, Henrietta used to be a Herald of Slaanesh, but she got upgraded to an Exalted Keeper of Secrets. Is Harry the Herald of Khorne banned? I politely asked the Warriors of Chaos player not to bring him. Though I know some of the Undead players had some stuff they wanted to try versus Harry. So if World Beater ends up fighting someone who lets him take Harry, it was not bad manners. The other player agreed to fight Harry. If you see Harry, both players were fine with it. World Beater's not a bad person. All right, for Segos and Luther, 2,700 value, not bad. Honestly, really not bad. We haven't seen Luther for a long time. I generally don't think he is a good lord right now, but Segos did play the shit out of him and really put on a good case. Depth Guard did okay. Shade Wraith Grunters did really well, all things considered. Again, their value is low, but remember that they caused all 3 of these Furies to instantly disintegrate, and that value doesn't come back to them. Lampert's Revenge did great, as they always do, 2,100 value, and the Animated Hulks, for their cheap price, got good value, considering their cheap price. Have fun. Well, if you're leaving, you can leave the door open.
I probably won't be gone long. It's the wall.
Is the stink still out?
Yep.
All right. For Coops, Henrietta put the game on her back, 5,300 value. Chaos Knights did okay. The Chosen of Slaanesh, look at that value! I didn't think it was going to be that high. 2,500 a piece for the Chosen of Slaanesh. Chaos Warriors and Hell Scourges did alright, and the Furies got dusted. Alright. Back to the scoreboard. The Undead are down. The Undead are down, ladies and gentlemen. It's looking tough as this first round Chaos comes out swinging. Who am I looking for now? Nalnish versus Sabras Regnum. Okay. Okay. Nalnish versus Sabras. Yeah, this is it. Village the Cursling versus DJ Katip. Hey, Mr. Casual. You missed some games, dude. You missed some games. I liked that way. That was good. Alrighty, Sabras Regnum. A very good Tomb Kings player. But you are going to be seeing a little bit sillier builds because, once again, this is a for fun event where people were encouraged to put on a good show rather than sweat their asses off. And Sabras did reply in kind. DJ Kotep is actually a pretty solid lord. I still think Archeon is better and Setra has his own matchups, but Kotep is not a meme by any case. Chosen of the Gods quite strong as well, but he did also bring Necropolis Knights. We're seeing a lot of them this event. Bone Giants, a front line of melee Ushapti mixed with Skeleton Warriors and Spearmen, and then we do have the Eyes of the Desert Sepulchral Stalkers, ROR. The rest of the Chosens don't have ITP, correct. On the other side, for Nalnish, we have a front line of blue horrors, a secondary line of pink horrors, triple Chaos Warrior, double Chaos Warrior of Tzeentch. And then just a bunch of Marauders, 2 more Chaos Warriors with Halberds, 2 Screamers up in the sky, and Village the Cursling with pink and blue fire. And then we have a Cultist of Tzeentch with Burning Head. Huh, that's a lot of spells. Kotep is the best lord on the TK roster? I still think it is Archeon. I disagree. Bone Giant's not a meme after last patch buffs? Maybe. I've had a different experience. I think the Necro Knights are still a meme, man. Those things suck. Ushapti sprinting forward to stop the blue horrors from shooting at them and force them into melee. While blue horrors are solid melee combatant, not great, they still want to shoot all of their ammo before getting forced into melee, so the Ushapti just kind of harassing them a bit. Chosen of the Gods firing into I don't really know what. Looks like just this big blob, and their spread shots doing great damage over there as the Bone Giant continues to hit the pink horrors down. So Tzeentch is taking a lot of punishment on the approach, and the Sepulchral Stalkers are sneaking around. Screamers are coming towards that back line. It looks like the Tomb Kings are pulling their front line back to get a little closer to their ranged units. Don't want to go too far ahead and leave the Screamers free and clear to punish that back line. Chaos Warriors have reached the front line, and as we've seen frequently in this event, Chaos Warriors are very tough for the Undead factions to deal with in melee. They just don't have the best time getting rid of those guys. As the blue horrors fire in, a quick Burning Head will also take out some of the skeletons, and those guys, I wouldn't be surprised if they just straight up disintegrated. Ooh, but the Burning Head curves violently into the Chaos Warriors of Tzeentch, missing the skeletons entirely, just arcing off. Decided it hates chaos, and it even hits the Marauders of Tzeentch. That was the most treacherous Burning Head I have ever seen. My God. Anyway, as one of Tzeentch's spells completely fucks him over for no reason, Screamers dive backline, fighting Necro Knights and the Chosen of the Gods at the same time. They will get beaten up by the Necro Knights pretty badly. Ooh, especially with the Overcast Jaff's Cursed Blades things. Gives Necro Knights really good weapon strength stats and anti-large, though it just fades out now as I was starting to pay attention to it. The front line for the Tomb Kings is not having the best go of it, though, once again, Tzeentch got murdered by their own Burning Head, which was brutal. Still, overall, Tzeentch is happy with how the front line's going. The back line, the Necropolis Knights were more than enough to peel off those 2 Screamers of Tzeentch, and they're doing good. Bone Giant has done a lot of damage. It only has 8 shots left. And meanwhile, the Sprockle Stalkers in the back have revealed themselves. They've started poking at these halberds. And I don't think Nalnish knows those are there. Because, like, they snuck around the whole edge of the map, and just all of a sudden a halberd in the very far back is getting poked by something. I don't think he noticed it. Ushapti and Skeleton Warriors push forward, but they are still fighting Chaos Warriors and some Blue Horrors. But man, that Burning Head was just awful. Just awful. And it's not like Tzeentch's fault. It clearly curved. It was just very funny. Just as planned. Yeah, actually it is fitting that happened to Tzeentch, because Tzeentch is always the just as planned guy. Another Burning Head rips through Skeleton Warriors. This time it stays on track and decimates them. Even starts to curve a little bit. Is this the redemption? It curves all of a sudden into the Skeleton Spearman. The redemption arc! Second Burning Head says so sorry about the miscommunication, didn't understand what team I was playing for, and curves beautifully into the other Skeleton Warrior. This is just the game of the Burning Heads. That's all we care about today, is where are the Burning Heads going? Apparently to cause maximum destruction. Full health, Chaos Warrior of Tzeentch now gets through Sirian's Incantation of Vengeance, and the Chosen of the Gods focus firing it, so I do not think they'll be full health for very much longer. Tzeentch is falling very far behind on the balance of power, and while the Undead are slowly running out of front line, Tzeentch is as well, to be fair. We had one healthy Chaos Warrior of Tzeentch, and you can see with the Chosen of the Gods affections, the Bone Giant, and that Usirian's Incantation of Vengeance, they are gone. Gone, gone, gone. Down to 1/3, maybe even 1/4 HP from full in the blink of an eye. Now Village is walking back here to try and deal with these guys, but they're still a full health-ish Necropolis Knight that has just been chilling. Chosen Gods still have ammunition. The Bone Giant has 1 shot. Katep is healthy and fine. I think Tzeentch, left to their own devices, can clean up the rest of the Tomb King's front line without much issue, but I do think that they are pretty fucked with the state of a full health Bone Giant, who in melee is not a great combatant, but he exists. Necropolis Knights will be a problem. And of course we have a full health Sprockle Stalker still running around. Necropolis Knights did not have a good time, however, fighting the Marauders with Village supporting them, so they will back off. Tzeentch did finish off the Ushapti and Skeleton Warriors that were here. They're cleaning up those guys on the lower end. When did the Burning Head go burr? Oh, where did the Burning Head go? Okay. I see. Cultist running over here. Like I said, I'm pretty sure the Tomb Kings will lose all of their front line. I don't see what can beat the Sprockle Stalkers and the Chosen of the Gods if they use their ammunition correctly, which, like, Sabras will. He's good enough to do that. Pink Horrors start to fade away. That is another thing to remember, that a lot of these units are demonic, so if they get put under a little more pressure, they will just die. Another Usirian's Incantation of Vengeance as the Chaos Warriors probably meet their last. Skeleton Warriors are still crumbling. Just for, like, the satisfaction of my OCD, I kind of want these 2 super low health Undead units to crumble before the game's over, just because, like, I like clean things. Can Village carry? Probably not. Village is a spooky guy, but not that spooky. Adobe, I don't give a shit right now. It's like you're using Photoshop, so you want a bunch of ads from me. I didn't know turning on a product that I bought from you had ads in it. Thanks, Adobe, you fucks. Anyway, Pink Horror is getting charged. They will soon crumble. Without them, we have some Marauders, some Chaos Warriors that are almost routing, and this balance of power is entirely held up by the full health Village running around. Chosen of the Gods are almost out of ammo. Bone Giant is out of ammo. Sprockle Stalkers are running low. So I understand why the balance of power thinks that, like, oh, it's a ranged unit without any ammunition left. It's worthless. And I'm like, I mean, it's not that worthless, you guys. Come on. Another Usirian's Incantation of Vengeance. Katep charges those guys, and I do think this is over, so I'll play it at ×2 speed. Oh, there's even an Ushapti summon. Yeah, that is just GG. Village tries his best, but now he's surrounded. He gets shot in the face by the Sprockle Stalkers. They take out his shields, but they don't actually get to his HP bar. And the summoned Ushapti will try and surround him, get use out of themselves before they die. Bone Giant also wanders over here. A big shot from the Sprockle Stalkers does tear out him off. GG. GG. Bone Giant 1200, Necropolis Knights 900, Sprockle Stalkers 900, Chosen of the Gods 1500. And then the front line did all right. I don't know where all the value went. Oh, it's ammunition, I bet. Yeah. Isn't Kotep really good against spellcaster heavy factions? He can be. We still saw Tzeentch get off spells. Like, they got what they needed to get done. I don't know. I'm more of an Arc in the Black and Setra person. Like, I wouldn't say fan, because I enjoy seeing Kotep. I just don't think he's that good, personally. I think he's... Okay. It's all about what you're comparing to. Compared to nothing, yeah, Kotep's good. He's fine. He's a good supportive lord. He heals up his whole army. He's a good lord. A lot of factions would be happy to have Kotep on their team. I just think compared to Archeon and Setra, I think Archeon and Setra are better. I think Archeon is still fucking redonkulously good. And I think Setra is a better combat lord. So, I don't know. Like, it's compared to the other lords in his roster, and the Tomb Kings in general have pretty good lords. That's my point. But, teach their own, you know? Do friendly fire kills get counted in the damage value? No. I love for fun events like this. How do I get in line for one of these? These have actually been really popular. Whenever I post, like, hey, add everyone. I need 6 people to play this thing. It instantly fills up. So I might have to rethink how I do that. Because they're just like, boom, gone. All 6 spots are filled. Yeah. And it's just fun. You know, it's just fun. We like the dodgeball. You like picking a team and hoping your team wins. You like seeing different builds. It's a pretty low-stress environment, so there's no drama around it where it's like, okay, there's not one, but let's say there was a rule break where, like, my opponent took 6 blue horrors instead of 5. Okay, you can either replay it or just let it go. There's nothing on the line here. So, we're just trying to have some fun. On the other side, for Chaos Warriors, not a lot of value on their warriors, even though I think they did fine in the battle, but their value just isn't going to show it versus Undead. Blue Horrors did okay. Marauders did fine. Burning Headcaster got a lot of kills. Got a lot of kills. Alright. I gotta go to the Photoshop thing before I reveal the replays and you might get some spoilers. So that was Village Out. And DJ Kotep joining the Von Karstein Vampire Lord as being, I guess I can't say still alive, because he's not, but like, you know. Well, Kotep's actually alive. Isn't he? I don't think Kotep died. If I remember correctly, Kotep is actually alive. Because the Necrarch... Not the Necrarch. Aren't the Mortuary Cult of the Tomb Kings actually alive? Like, they figured out, if I remember correctly, and feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, the Mortuary Cult figured out everlasting life in a way, but it makes them all desiccated and ugly and they can barely move. And Setra said, nah, dude, I'll die normally, but once you figure out good immortality, gimme. And the Mortuary Cult said, nice. And then later, Setra woke up and he was a skeleton, and Setra was like, the fuck? And the Mortuary Cult's like, not our fault. This guy named Nagash showed up. He did that. We didn't do that. If I remember correctly. All right, what am I doing? Dr. Nerd versus Longshanks. There it is. All right, we have Longshanks, the Crimson Disco, versus Dr. Nerd and Caress the Darkling Prince. All right, Dr. Nerd. Yep, you're up. You're up. This is the other way to try and play the Demons of Chaos. Whereas 80 Ruda went a little wider with some Exalted Bloodletters, we do have the single entity man spam for Caress. We have Caress the Darkling Prince with Phantasmagoria, Acquiescence, and the Lash of Slaanesh. We have a bunch of Plague Bearers, 3 Exalted Plague Bearers, which is a bunch. That's like 4,000 gold worth of Plague Bearers, including the Festering Stooges, 2 Blue Horrors of Tzeentch. We have a Plague Ridden of Nurgle with 3 more spells? No, it's the Locust of Virulence. Okay, still 2 more spells. 5 spells is a lot, Dr. Nerd. That is a lot to expect to get out of those. And then we have Uncle Frunkle with his bound stuff. When are we gonna do the totally legit Lowhammer lore thing? God, that was a tongue twister. I don't know. Oh, we also have the Eternal Entourage, Heartseekers, and they buff up lords and heroes nearby them. That's kind of a tricky little thing. I like that. On the other side, we have the Red Duke, also known as the Crimson Disco. And El Sif, actually, we were talking about this a bit. El Sif is really good versus demons. The reason you don't see the Red Duke much is 20% physical resistance reduction is oddly niche. But versus demons, you know all demonic factions have physical resistance. So, yeah, that's cool. So El Sif can remove that physical resist, which is nice. Anyway, Red Duke with zombies and healing. We have some dire wolves, a whole bunch of zombies, a mortis engine, some crypt ghouls. Yeah, 2 crypt ghouls, the dire pack, 4 crypt horrors, and a corpse cart with balefire that imbues your army with better stats, but also magic attacks, which is really, really good. And a necromancer. Okay, very different take on vampire counts that we're seeing. No blood knights, no vargheists. So the Red Duke is taking this fight right now. He's healing himself up a little bit, but he's acquiescence nerfed by Caress, and he's getting shot by blue horrors, so he's going to probably want to opt out of this fight quite soon. The Eternal Entourage diving onto the back line, hitting these direwolves, hitting zombies, just doing whatever they feel like doing. Might be a bit of an overstretch. Maybe Dr. Nerd is focused elsewhere. I actually don't know if that was intentional. Red Duke continues to battle it out with Caress, and man, this is not going well. There he goes. He finally starts to back off, but after taking a ton of damage. And the corpse cart's almost dead too, as the Plague Bearer grenades hit it, then a Spirit Leech that is bound to Uncle Frunkle, and Uncle Frunkle just charges it, smacking down the corpse cart, and everything is coming, just crumbling apart for the Undead, as their source of magic and fire damage is gone. Their Lord is taking a ton of damage, and the fight hasn't even really started yet. God damn. This might be a mistake, though. The Red Duke does land. He overcasts Invocation on himself, which causes him to overcast and take damage. So he's taking a lot of damage, but now the Crypt Horrors will surround Caress. Caress is nowhere near those blue horrors that were helping him out so much before, and now he starts to walk away. A zombie summon is also thrown on the way out as the Red Duke just says, please, just I'm done, I'm sorry, I'm leaving. And Caress is getting followed for now. The Dire Pack did finish off one of the blue horrors. Otherwise, the Mortis engine is here and ready to party. It's going to drain down all of these very expensive units. Crypt Horrors fighting the Eternal Entourage are trading up. While they are losing overall, they're still doing good damage to an overall more expensive unit, and the Red Duke just is taking a goddamn breather. Doesn't El Sif still apply anyway? Does the -20 physical resist even if the team doesn't have physical resist? It's not like you go negative on physical resist, the Verendus. El Sif still applies, but all you're getting out of it is -40 melee defense, which is still like a lot, but the physical resist is entirely missing. While the Blood Dragon Lord is just better at doing what the Red Duke wants to do, versus demons specifically, the Red Duke has a niche. I mean, the Blood Dragon Lord is still ridiculous, so you'd probably want to take him, but let's assume the Blood Dragon Lord gets nerfed next patch or something. Then I could see the Red Duke being a counterpick to demons. Are these demon princes saved from campaign? No, they're just generic demons, but in this for fun event, if you take a generic lord, we ask that you name them for fun. Just for fun, so that people could give a shit about them. Like Harry, the Herald of Corn. The Red Duke's taking big damage from Caress, the Darkling Prince, who has cast, I believe, Acquiescence once again on the Red Duke. Now Narcissism has netted him in place, and the Red Duke can't get out of here. Crypt Ghouls have joined the fight. They won't do that much damage versus Plague Bearers, honestly. They were here more for chaff rather than all this elite stuff, but the Mortis engine is still draining down everybody a little bit. And Caress is getting low. I wonder, he's been casting a lot of the Slaanesh spells. I do wonder if he's been saving up enough from the Plague Ridden to throw out a Fleshy Abundance onto Caress. I've also seen a couple of those Streams of Corruption, which I fall into the trap a lot when I try to take Nurgle spells like that. I spam Stream of Corruption so much, and it does very little damage in my experience, and then I never have the Winds of Magic for Fleshy Abundance because I don't save up. So I actually worried that that is a mistake, that this guy's spamming out too many of the Streams of Corruption, which I know, Umbrella, if you're still in the chat, you're going to disagree with me. You're going to say Streams of Corruption is great. I don't play Nurgle. We all know I'm bad at Nurgle. It's accepted. But I will say, when I watch people play Nurgle, it feels like Stream of Corruption does jack diddle fuck all. It feels like it does literally nothing. And I noticed that when I play with it, I spam it, and then I don't have any Winds of Magic for Fleshy Abundance, which would have been way better. So that's just my take on it. If you don't like it, I refuse to accept your opinion on this matter, because I am superior. Anyway, obviously I That is my real opinion, but you are allowed to have your own, is the end result of that. Again, another Fleshy Abundance, down some skeletons and some zombies and stuff. Caress is once again under attack by the Red Duke, who is doing good. He has heal capped himself, which the vampire counts are allowed to do. Bounce power is about even, and this Mortis engine is still vibing. Caress, so far, surviving the attentions of the Red Duke, so far. But neither of them is really hitting each other that much. Meanwhile, the Eternal Entourage, I understand why you took them. You wanted them near your Lords and Heroes and stuff, but they are not near them at all, so the Eternal Entourage buff is getting a little bit wasted. Caress tries to opt out of the fight, but his leadership is too low. He is just going to Demonic Instability Crumble as Curse of the Slug slows down the Red Dukes. The Red Duke can't fully get him. He just starts limping along. There we go. He finally started an animation. For a while, he was just kind of floating at him, but Caress is down. With that, the Demon's leadership starts to fall away. Exalted Plague Bearers are dying. The Herald of Nurgle chucks out another Stream of Corruption, which, like, again, like, I feel like one Fleshy Abundance onto Caress would have done a lot. I'm watching on PC and TV for the Echo. Hell yeah, dude. Red Duke is landing on the Herald of Nurgle now. It is mostly down to Uncle Frunkle and the Eternal Entourage to carry as the Mortis engine continues to go burr. Actually, the Mortis engine, it doesn't feel like it's done crazy amounts. Oh, it actually has done pretty well. Because, like, these guys all the way over here aren't under effect by the Mortis engine right now, so it's not hitting them. Herald of Nurgle is dead. Bounce power shifts wildly against the Demons of Chaos. What, does that balance power favor the demons right from the start? Possibly. Yeah. Sorry, I was just catching up with chat while this happens. It feels like it might be all Ogre, but it is going to take a while for Uncle Frunkle to die. I think the balance power is getting a little ahead of itself. Like, Uncle Frunkle is pretty spooky. I wonder... Oh, he doesn't have any of his spells left. Okay, that's different. If he doesn't have any spells left, yeah, he's fucked. If he had, like, a Defiling Deluge, though, that he could heal himself up and hurt everybody in here, that could have been pretty good. But there he goes. Gold Umbrella, that's fair. I only watched the stream on my smart fridge. There you go, dude. There you go. Caress, despite having more melee attack than Red Duke's melee defense, missed 5 times in a row. He did miss an awful lot. I do agree. Mortis engine in the Red Duke did well. Crypt Horrors did fine. Dogs did okay. Crypt Ghouls honestly did better than I would have thought, considering what they ended up fighting against. And zombies were around. For Dr. Nerdgash, Caress, 2,900 value. Uncle Frunkle, only 1,100? Really? I would have thought a lot more. 1,700 in the Eternal Entourage. The Plague Ridden of Nurgle, 800. And the Exalted Plague Bearers, about 800-ish a piece. And the Blue Horrors paid for themselves with a little bit more. GG. Take you over to the Photoshops. That was the end of round 1. And the end of the entire stream. It's a tie. It's 3-3. That's the end of it. There's no more content. I explained at the very start how this event works, and no one was listening to me, so that's it. That's the end. You can just leave. It's a tie. And nothing else happens. No. So, the shit aside, now, as the players are able, I just said, these are the people that are left. Any surviving undead or surviving demons can fight each other at your leisure. So what do we have here? I gotta figure out the order that I want to cast these in. Alright, sorry. So I do need to just take a second and figure this out. Yes. Okay. I believe that's how it ended up. So we'll do this one first. Okay. Cool. I have a plan. Coops on Henrietta, the Exalted Keeper Secrets, challenges DJ Katep. Dude, there's a really funny replay coming up. I remember it, and there's a story behind it. There's a really funny replay. All right. So, for DJ Katep and Sabras Regnum, we have one Necro Knight, the Chosen of Gods, ROR, Great Bow, Bone Giant, Sporkle Stalkers. Then we have some Nehekara Warriors mixed in with the Skeleton Warriors and Ushapti. So roughly-ish the same build we saw before. On the other side, we have two Seekers of Slaanesh, one Chaos Fury of Slaanesh, Henrietta herself, the Exalted Keeper of Secrets. We have triple Exalted Demonettes, one of which is the ROR Bringers Beguilement. Then we have 5 Devoted Marauders of Slaanesh, and a Chaos Sorcerer of Slaanesh. With just Lash. Weird. Why? Why do we want 2 different Slaanesh casters with different spells? I don't understand that. Coops, why'd you do that? All right, front lines collide. Ushapti getting out ahead of their Skeleton Warriors a little bit for a big charge, and this one's getting slapped by the Exalted Demonettes. The other ones are doing a bit better. Slaanesh dives the back line. Seekers and Chaos Furies getting in it. And with armor-piercing values, they should get decent damage out, but oh my god, they got instantly murdered. Okay, all right, goodbye. Frontline fight continues to go on. One Ushapti has already faded. Another 2 are looking a little dead, but on the other side, I mean, the Devoted Marauders of Slaanesh are not having a good time. Henrietta is here, throws down Pavane of Slaanesh for a rampage and a little bit more damage. Wants to get these guys in the crumbling territory so she can start applying her Mortis Engine and her heal effects. Seekers of Slaanesh doing very little damage to this Bone Giant, as Unsiria's Incantation of Vengeance does a lot of damage to them. They probably just have to give up and go attack the Chosen of the Gods or something, as one Seeker entirely fades away. Henrietta tries to stop the Chosen of the Gods, and now she's actually just going to try and snipe out Katep. Seductive Glory is popped. Everybody around her gets minus melee defense and Rampage. Or is it just one guy? It's just one guy. No, is it? No, it's everybody was around her. Instant Rampage for the Eyes of the Desert, and she's blocking up the Chosen of the Gods. Meanwhile, Necropolis Knights go and find the Seekers. They said, fine, Seekers, if you won't come to us, we'll come to you. The front line for the Tomb Kings has almost entirely collapsed, and the Sorcerer of Slaanesh is still way in the back chilling. I think he has been momentarily forgotten. Henrietta takes a blast to the face from the Bone Giant as she continues to fight the Chosen of the Gods. Sporkle Stalkers get away from her, firing into her back. Not crumbling just yet. She does have to stop them from shooting her. And the Bringers of Beguilement are here. Usirian's Incantation of Vengeance is slowing them down as they try and get on the Necropolis Knights. The Bone Giant continues to try and punish Henrietta, who's now just trying to get out of here as her front line continues to win. Sorcerer of Slaanesh is forgotten for a little bit. More Sporkle Stalker fire hits Henrietta, and she probably wants to go fight in this front line for just a little bit and get some healing back from those skeletons that are currently not doing so hot. Bringers of Beguilement already almost dead, get rear charged from the Necropolis Knights. Big damage, and they are gone. Tomb King's pulling ahead on the balance of power. Henrietta is running around as a Chosen of the Gods. Ushapti Great Bow's ROR shoots at her. She's not the best target for them, but I guess that she's so low, they're just trying to get anything out. An Ushapti summon is coming to stop these Devoted Marauders, who are also getting shot by the Sporkle Stalkers, who are now starting to run, though some of them are lagging behind in the running department. Still there. Slaanesh Caster has been remembered. He is back now, doing his best, and Henrietta is here trying to fight some Ushapti and stuff, but both these guys are so healthy, she's not even getting healing off of them. She just doesn't have anywhere to be. Yee. Mr. BD. I can't repeat that, but nice. All right, Henrietta's going to take one last duel with the Bone Giant, trying to get something done here. Quick little acquiescence, lowering the Bone Giant's melee defense to 5, so Henrietta should never miss. And she misses. With 62 melee attack. And she misses. Well, that was just embarrassing. There she hit. Jesus Christ. How did you miss 2 in a row and you had at least... You had 60, but now you have 50. Melee defense versus 5. Versus 5. Still trying to battle the Bone Giant. Meanwhile, the last vestiges of Marauders and the Chaos Sorcerer are doing their very best, but the balance of power is so far against Slaanesh at this point. Chosen the Gods continuing to kite it out against the last Exalted Demonette that exists, and Henrietta, to her credit, is whooping on this Bone Giant eventually. There was just a little bit of silliness there, a little bit of ha-ha, but the Sporkle Stalker's creeping forward. I think they just want to get one nice hit on the Exalted Keeper of Secrets, because if they do that, I mean, she'll start her Demonic Instability crumbling. She'll be fine. Pavane of Slaanesh trying to rampage the Eyes of the Desert and do a little bit more damage to them, but mostly want to rampage them so that they don't get to fire at the lady. But they do not rampage. They do hold on, and they are going to fire at the lady, it looks like, unless they get obstructed by their own Bone Giant. She is just putting the hurt on that guy. He finally got a hit in edgewise, but it's not been... Oh, he got a second hit in. Yep, there's army losses. Didn't even need the Sporkle Stalkers. Bone Giant could just do it on his own. GG. I clicked just as the thing came up, so that was a whoops. Bone Giant, Kotzep, both about 1,000 value. 1,200 on the Necronites, 1,700 on the Sporkle Stalkers, 1,300 on the Chosen of the Gods. And then the Ushapti front line, mixed value. Skeletons, okay. The other side for Coops, 1,800 on Henrietta. Slaanesh Caster really struggled to get too much done. Exalted Demonettes did really, really well. Seekers and the Furies struggled a lot on the back line. You'd think that they do better, but I don't know, man. Seekers just disappoint me all the time. Marauders Slaanesh did fine. GG's. Back to the Photoshop. Henrietta is down. And then we have a game between... I think in chronological order it's a different one, but for the sake of this cast, I am going to go a different way. Hold on. Make sure I have this. What? Where did that go? Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, we'll do this one. So World Beater ends up fighting Salinator. The Von Karstein Vampire Lord versus Archeon. Bony Boy's crawling back in this. Oh, they coming. Oh, Lord, they coming. Von Karstein Vampire Lord, the Claw of Nagash, Mortis Engine ROR, a Necromancer on a Corpse Cart. Looks like he has the Unholy Lodestone for more healing. And then we have some Crypt Horrors, some Graveguard with great weapons, zombies in the front line, including the Tithe, and a Dire Pack. It's a pretty contained build here. On the other side, for the Forces of Chaos, we have a pretty degenerate blob. 4 Marauders, the Severed Claw Aspiring Champions ROR, one of the worst regiments of renown to be added to the game for the health of the game in a long time. We do have Bilious Thunderguff, a Chaos Warshrine of Nurgle for that AoE constant healing when enough stuff dies next to it. Summoners of Rage, Chosen of Nurgle with great weapons, and Archeon the Ever-Chosen with Burning Head and Searing Doom. I fucking hate these, the Severed Claw. I think they're a terrible unit to add to the game. Like, just such bad game design. We're like, you know what would be a fun unit? A super tanky, low model count unit with insanely high melee defense, shields, magic damage, arm piercing, anti-large. Is it OP? Not really. It's not that OP. It's strong, but it's not OP. It's just dumb. It's like dumb game design, because it's like the lower model count it is, the harder they are to do anything to. Like, a lot of spells don't hurt them, cavalry charges don't hurt them, single entities don't even hurt them that much because they're giant HP pools. It's just like, this was just a dumb idea, CA. It was a really stupid idea. All right, big Flock of Doom. The Chaos Horde is so close together that literally everything gets hit by that Flock of Doom, so good cast there. Archeon charges into the fight. The Mortis Engine is trying to get in here, but a big Burning Head from Archie is going to hit multiple frontline members going down the line, roasting them all to death. Looks like the Von Karstein Lord is lining up for a breath attack onto that front line of Chosen and Marauders and the Summoners of Rage. So pretty good cast right there. Blob fight has begun in earnest. Looks like an overcast invocation to heck trying to save these guys a little bit. Dire Pack are around. They can chase anybody that routes, and a quick Searing Doom does a little bit of damage to some of these zombies and stuff, but overall not too concerning just yet. We do have some Marauders starting to route. The dogs will have much work to do, and another Flock of Doom hits, but this Von Karstein Lord might want to get to Cycle Charging if he's going to win. They're blue like those carrots are supposed to engineering. I refuse. Anyway, something's happening. Oh, the Summoners of Rage bound Chain Lightning. Summoners of Rage themselves aren't doing so hot. And some Crypt Horrors are chasing off Marauders. Where are the dogs? The dogs are kind of doing it too. Warriors of Chaos losing a lot of their Marauders. For now. Mortis Engine continues to drain everybody in this area. And another Searing Doom onto the zombies. This is the thing. If you're playing Undead versus a very, very degenerate box or something, what you have to do is send in your infantry like one by one. Because piling them all up on the top of each other like this, they don't do any more damage, but they all take more damage from like burning heads and breath attacks and shit like that. So yeah, generally you would want to have like one Graveguard in here fighting, and then, or maybe like one zombie fighting and then send in the Graveguard after the zombies like dying. Or something like that. Another big breath attack onto the Chosen of Nurgle. Severed Claw taking a bit of damage. How's our Nurgle Shrine doing for healing? He's already max charged up, so he's got AoE healing for days. More Marauders are routing, however, so the Dire Pack will have to go get involved to kill all those guys off. Don't let them come back. Bounce power is about even, though I am concerned as the Von Karstein Lord tries to land onto the Chaos War Shrine of Nurgle. Actually does push it away from its compatriot, so it looks like the Severed Claw is not getting healing right now because they're too far away from it. And that's a really good snipe attempt, actually, from the Von Karstein Lord. That's good stuff. Summoners of Rage getting too low. Dire Pack are rear charging them, so it looks like they will allow the Marauders to rally in the distance. We'll see how much that ends up mattering. But Summoners of Rage break from the rear charge. It's just too much for them. The Chaos War Shrine of Nurgle is down to half HP. Chosen of Nurgle also routing. That Mortis Engine has 2,100 value. It's been killing it. Bilious Thunderguff is still out here doing his best. Severed Claw are also fighting. Archeon still continuing to battle on. The only infantry left, however, is one Marauder unit that's flag keeps moving around. So it's really not that big of a deal. The Dire Pack are going to fight to the very death in here. Looks like they will not be chasing off the Summoners of Rage, so all these Chaos units will be allowed to rally and return to the fight. We do have Crypt Horrors chasing them, but I don't think they're fast enough. Yeah, Summoners of Rage are technically faster. Something just happened. Oh, Bilious farted. Okay. Bilious farted on the enemy. Balance of power is slightly going into the favor of the Warriors of the Vampire Counts. The Von Karstein Lord is sniping out the Chaos War Shrine of Nurgle. The shrine is fully charged. I've seen Kadai Destroyers fight for twice as long and not be charged. The Chaos War Shrine of Nurgle gets charged based off of enemies that die nearby. So all the zombies that died charge it up instantly. The Kadai charges based on its time in melee combat. Bilious Thunderguff is trying to fight the Mortis Engine. Meanwhile, Archeon is fully surrounded by random shit and taking a lot of damage, even without the Von Karstein Lord nearby. Something is just beating his ass. It must be the Crypt Horrors, I guess, but good God. Chaos War Shrine trying to stay alive so we can keep healing up Archeon and Severed Claw and all them, but this is looking a little bit doomed. Summoners of Rage did escape from the Crypt Horrors. Chosen of Nurgle and some Marauders are returning. Archeon gets out another big spell onto the Undead Horde. And the Mortis Engine is very, very low on HP. And a lot of the Undead are heal capped. About heal capped. Undeath Resurgence from the Von Karstein Lord really helping out. He has entirely soloed out this Chaos War Shrine of Nurgle. Like, good lord. Killed the whole damn thing. The Claw of Nagash still draining down all these infantry that are rejoining the fight. Bilious is desperately trying to kill it, but he can't quite manage to do so. Archeon takes a big shot from the Von Karstein Lord. And we'll see if he has another Burning Head to go down the line, or if he is just out of gas as an Invocation to Heck tries to keep the Mortis Engine in the fight, but Bilious hits it again in the face. It is so close to dying. There it finally goes, but it is too late, I believe, as the Mortis Engine did its dirty work to the Chosen of Nurgle. The Severed Claw and Archeon are so low, it's really just Bilious that's holding up this bounce of power, and as Archeon almost routes, there he routes. I think we'll be seeing army losses soon as Vampire Counts defeat El Blobarino. Mortis Engine, 4,100 value. With Flock of Doom spam and the Mortis Engine, the super tight blob just did not stand a chance. There's too much AoE damage. Graveguard did okay. Crypt Horrors did pretty darn well. Zombies also existed, but it was mostly the Mortis Engine and the Flock of Doom spam and the breath attacks. It's just the formation was too tight. While it is an annoying blob and stuff, it also, like, blobs get punished by blob punishment things. Archeon, 2,600 value. Bilious, 2,600 value. 2,000 value on the Summoners of Rage. Then the Chosen, only 600. The Severed Claw, 1,700. Marauders all did okay. And Heal Shrine, of course, it's only going to get, like, 200 value because it's just healing. It's not actually doing damage. GG. Which does bring us down to the Harry the Herald of Khorne, which chronologically, games were played in a different order, but, you know. Sabras is the first to fight Lusinian. I didn't want to just cast DJ Kotep over and over again, so we spread it out a little bit. In case world beaters out there like, no, I was the last one alive. It's like, yep, I just didn't want to cast Sabras twice in a row. Spreading the love. Can Lucinia beat all three of these guys? That seems tough. That seems pretty tough for little Harry. Dude, when your fate rests on Khorne, that's not a great time. That's not a great time. It's not. But we'll see. We'll see. Harry can't do it. He can't fucking do it, dude. He's already dead. He's already dead. You all knew it. You all know he's fucking toast. But let's see how many he can take out with him. Is it 0? I bet it's 0, because Khorne sucks. Harry and his roommate versus Tomb Kings again. Harry did defeat Tomb Kings of Rainy Frog. But now, he's taking Minotaurs? I bet Frog is just pissed. Frog's like, the fuck, dude. I brought Necropolis Knights with Halberds and you brought all infantry, and then you fight some other guy and you're just gonna bring Minotaurs? I wanted to fight Minotaurs. For Khorne, we have 2 Minotaurs with great weapons. Harry and his roommate running around having a grand old time. Marauders and Chaos Warriors of Khorne, all with dual weapons and more Marauders in the front line. On the other side, we have DJ Kotep with his DJ booth. Syrian's Incantation of Vengeance, Nero's Incantation of Protection, and Jaff's Cursed Blades. Here's a more traditional Sabras formation. He really likes his geometrical formations with units. We have 1 Skeleton Horse Archer on the far side, Kotep on his DJ booth, Chosen Gods of Shopti Great Bows, and the Eyes of the Desert Sepulchral Stalkers, and then we have triple Tomb Guard with Halberds, a whole bunch of Skeleton Spearmen and Skeleton Warriors, and then a Necro Sphinx. Cool, cool. Can Khorne break the box? Let's find out. Once again, Khorne has very little mobility here. They didn't take, like, dogs or anything like that. No skirmish cav, so it is down to just raw melee prowess. Chosen the Gods firing at the Chaos Warriors of Khorne with dual weapons. 120 armor, though unshielded. Eating corn or reminiscing about corn and watching corn. Yeah. Dipping sauce, that's a good way to be. It's a good way to be. Marauders of Khorne are in here. They are trying to kill off some skeleton warriors. But man, that fire from the Tomb Kings is punishing. And Kotep is trying to fire on this big old blob. Let's see if he can do it. Oh, he do it. He did it. Minos of Khorne piling in now. They have targeted the Necro Sphinx, which is a pretty good target for them. Harry and his roommate are trying to get in here. They're a little late on the draw. They probably wanted to be here a lot sooner and throw down that Locus of Wrath and really give these guys some buffs. Meanwhile, the other flank is also a little delayed. So, Khorne off to a bit of a rough start, taking a lot of damage. Slightly uncoordinated attack, but the Minotaurs did do good work on the Necro Sphinx for the brief time it was there. Necro Sphinx immediately runs away, doesn't want any of that noise. And Minos pushing through the front line, just don't give a single shit as Grace returns home, so I shut the door. Minos pile straight through that front line. They're taking a lot of damage for it, but that was really funny to see them lower their heads and just like push. That was great. That was funny. Tomb King's front line is in a bit of disarray. A lot of kills for Khorne, which also probably means we'll be getting the buffs of Khorne soon, as they've killed off a lot of undead. There it is. A Horn of Khorne and the Locust of Wrath getting 118 melee attack to some of these Chaos Warriors. Good lord. But the Minotaurs that pushed all the way to the backline just took too much damage for their efforts and did get routed and killed off entirely. The Chosen Gods running very far away to get to safety. Might be a little too far away, but we'll see. As more Minotaurs continue to fight against this guy, though he does have 40% physical resistance right now, Sparkle Stalkers are also in the battle, and Khorne's infantry are pushing through, slowly killing off all these skeletons. Balance of power goes into the favor of the Tomb Kings, though right now they've lost 700 troops and Khorne has lost 300. So the war of attrition definitely going to Khorne, but the war of value appears to be going to the Tomb Kings. All right. Skeleton Spearmen continuing to fight. They're getting a lot of value on these Khorne Minotaurs that are fighting in the middle of them. DJ Kotep continues to fire. We have some Khorne warriors who have recently won their battles that need to be given new orders to move forward. And the wiggly blades. Dude, they look like wiggly little blades. Look at the wiggly blades. The wiggly blades are cast onto the Skeleton Spearmen, mostly just trying to give healing to the whole army as Tomb Guard battle back against these Marauders. Balance power shifting even further against Khorne. Even though the enemy troop count, Khorne has lost 450 guys. Tomb Kings have lost 1,000. But the balance power goes further against Khorne. And I also do agree, it's just like Khorne's killing off a lot of skeletons and stuff, but anything of value is holding firm. Uncoordinated? You tried. You tried. At this point, it is looking ogre. As Khorne is routing in mass. Balance of power is near the point of no return. And Harry and his brave roommate continue to do battle. But they are just two men against an uncaring world. That is looking like it. If you are doing the math, hold on. I promise you, you want to stay. I promise you, you want to stay. The stream's not over yet. Just give me a second. It's worth your time. Anyway, DJ Kotep is still firing into these skeletons. There we go. There's the army losses. And just stay here for a second. I have something to show you that's very funny. So just hold on. Don't go. All right. So, the event is over. Don't leave! The event is over. The undead have prevailed. They held back the tides of chaos. They have won. Don't leave! Don't do it! Here are some of the values. The Necrosphinx actually didn't do that great, but Kotep did amazing. Just hold on. Just hold on. Everything else is fine. Everything else is fine. Everything is fine. All right, Photoshop real quick. Lucinia did fall. Now this team, Patrick, Rainy Frog, Salinator, Segos, Sabras, and Longshanks will stay here. I will make up a new thematic thing to fight them, like who goes and fights the undead. I will recruit 6 players of roughly roughly equal skill, where if like this army, these guys, Patrick and Segos are new, but they're pretty good. So I'd say like overall 3 new, 3 experienced players, roughly. I'll look for 3 new and 3 experienced players for that thematic faction. Do those things, right? So things are good. Things are good. Things are fine. Okay, cool. Yes, the event is over, but there's something I have to show you. So the undead win. The undead did great. Now watch this. So when I was with the players, this was sent to me, but it was sent to me late. So I told, remember how I told all the undead players to send me stuff? Sabras forgot to save it, and Lucinia wasn't answering. So we thought, I think Lucinia also said something kind of vague, so we thought the replay maybe wasn't saved. So when it maybe wasn't saved, what I was going to do is replicate the result, the end result, in a humorous manner to entertain you all. So now you've seen the game that this is trying to replicate. So I got an AI, gave him Harry and his roommate. I got DJ Kotep and a fucking Hyro Titan. And, yeah, let's replicate the result. Now, hold on. It's worth staying. So, Hyro Titan is here. He has 61 melee attack plus a magic damage versus demons and 50 melee defense, 550 weapon strength. 550 weapon strength versus Herald of Khorne with only 4,000 health. So if he hits him like 8 times, he's fucking dead. And his roommate also has 4,000 health. Kotep's on DJ booth. This was supposed to just be funny and easy. The Tomb Kings immediately kill them. I would cast this and then tell you the story that, yeah, the players didn't save the replay. It was just supposed to be funny. So the Hyro Titan's walking up. He's walking up. This should be pretty easy. I even cast my free spells and try and get near Kotep for a funny haha moment. The balance of power. Look at the balance of power. Look at it. Look at it. All right, the Hyro Titan gets between me and danger. I use my free Spirit Leech. I even start giving the Hyro Titan some buffs and stuff from DJ Kotep. Cool? Cool. All right, let's see how it goes. Fighting the roommate and all this stuff. Doing okay. Balance of power thinks we've totally got this. I almost killed the roommate. All right, the roommate's already dead. Things are going according to plan. We're like 3 minutes into the game and things are going so well. The Hyro Titan's taking a little more damage than I would like. Okay, let's just heal him up with some spells from Kata. Yep, okay. Throwing Jafsin, Cursed Blades. Harry's not taking any damage. He's kind of whooping my Hyro Titan's ass, but the balance of power keeps getting worse for little Harry as I throw out more spells to try and heal up my Giant Hyro Titan that is really missing Harry. Like, really missing him. Harry the Herald of Khorne had 16 melee defense there for a second. Oh yeah, that's what. I've been spamming this. He's had 16 melee defense for a lot of these fights, by the way. Still going, still fighting, still going, still fighting. Really not hitting Harry at all, and this is a problem. Harry's back down to 16 melee defense. We haven't hit in a very long time. The Hyro Titan's almost dead. The balance of power still totally thinks we've got this, and at this point, I start cycle charging with fucking DJ Booth Kotep, because Harry is killing everything. I can't get rid of him. The Hyro Titan can't hit a fucking thing. It's such a trash garbage unit. At this point, I just need to kill stupid fucking Harry. Hyro Titan's just spinning around, swinging, missing everything all the time. I throw Cursed Blades onto it, just trying to heal him up a little bit. Balance of power still thinks we've got it. We haven't touched Harry in like 50 years, and then Harry starts beating the shit out of Kotep. I run away, I throw Incantation of Spookiness onto him. 16 melee defense. The Hyro Titan still can't hit him! It just can't hit him! And he's beating the shit out of it. All of a sudden, the balance of power is like, wait, hold on. Did I miss something here? As Harry just kicks the shit out of all of us. More cycle charging with Kotep, though he's after him now. Kotep's trying to get behind the Hyro Titan, but the Hyro Titan just stumbles around. Balance of power is rocketing into the favor of Khorne as Harry just beats my ass, and the fucking Hyro Titan can't hit him! Why is it so bad? Why is it so bad? Why? He kills it and he wins! Why is he so bad? The Hyro Titan is such a fucking trash unit! Why? Why? So my Hyro Titan got a whopping 600 value. Kotep got a whopping 19. Harry the Herald of Khorne got 3,700. That's cool. That's fine. So then, when I was mad, and I still didn't know that Sabras had the replay. Not Sabras. Remember, because Lucinia had the real replay. I saved it. And then, to get the real result, I cheated. I cheated a lot. And I said, all right, Harry and roommate, let's try this again. You, me, Hyro Titan, 1v1. Let's see if you could do it again. Huh? Let's see if you can do it again. Can you 1v1 the Hyro Titan? You know what? You can 2v1 the Hyro Titan. I'll let you bring your roommate. Let's see you 2v1 the Hyro Titan. Harry answers my letter with a haha, bitch, I'll bring my friends. We're gonna come beat your ass. And then I get a bunch of bone giants. I'm like, take this, you stupid fuck. Yeah! How does it feel, Harry? Fuck you! So then I won! Oh my god. So I had that, and then Lucinia gets back to me the next day, and he's like, yeah, I have the replay, and he sends it to me. So then we had the real replay, which is good. But I saved those because I thought you would just enjoy the journey. So if Lucinia hadn't saved the replay, that's what you would have experienced. And that, now, is the end of the stream. So, thank you to everybody who played. Yes. Yep. Thank you to everybody who played. I'll pull up the Photoshop one more time so we can put honor upon their names. Everybody you see on the screen in front of you played today. Well, they played over the last week and I casted them today, but thanks to all of them for participating. The 6 on the Chaos side, it was lovely to have you. You did good trying to defend your throne, but the Undead were just too strong. I will be soon, not today, not right now, soon I will be seeking out 6 more champions for thematic faction of my choosing. For example, like the elves, wood elves, dark elves, high elves, or like I have not put the Skaven in a lot because the Skaven don't play nice with others in a way where like they don't fit into a lot of things. I could do like the Beast. Okay, the Beastmen isn't great because there's a faction called the Beastmen, but I could be like the Beastmen and then it's Beastmen, Skaven, Lizards. Any race that has non-humanoid main combatants. That could be good. I might do that. Skaven don't get played in this thing a lot because they're so hard to lump in with other factions. All right. That's it. GG's. Goodbye.